Hi, good evening. This is Kenny Tan. Welcome to Real Estate License in 14 Weeks. And tonight we have Tanya who is going to join us. Tanya, say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody. I'm very happy to join you.
All right, Tanya, welcome to Real Estate License in 14 Weeks. We're going to do the DRE exam practice questions today. And for today, I just want to remind everyone that there are 5 rules that will apply in the exam taking. The first rule is you want to apply the rule of elimination. That means that you want to eliminate all the wrong answers first, leaving yourself to hopefully with 2 or less possible choices. That's called the rule of elimination. The second rule is if you see some terms or some names you have never seen before, such as from the book or anything, usually that's the wrong answer. Okay, you can eliminate all those strange words from the answer choices, leaving yourself to maybe perhaps just 2 choices, hopefully. And the third rule is if you ever see a question that asks for a number, such as number of years or number of days, and one of the answer choices is a number 3, the chances of that being a correct answer is about 60 to 70%. However, if you do know that the correct answer is number 3, please do not pick number 3. And the fourth rule is if you see all of the above as an answer choice, usually that answer choice, all of the above, has a 60 to 70% chance of being a correct answer. So whenever you see a question that has all of the above as an answer choice, definitely you want to give that big consideration. And then finally, which is on rule number 5, use your common sense. Okay? All right, with the 5 rules out of the place, then let's go ahead and get started. Are you ready, Tanya?
I am ready.
All right, let me go to the next question. All right. The next question, can you do me a favor? Read out loud the question and then pick an answer from the answer choices based on the rules that we just described.
Number 37. The government's control over land use, planning, and zoning are an important examples of what? A. Eminent domain. B. Police power. C. Deed restrictions. D. All of the above. So I would eliminate, use a rule of elimination first. So I will eliminate D. I will eliminate C. I think answer A is the correct answer. Maybe B, but I think A is the correct answer. Final.
Now, okay, that's fine. The correct answer is police power.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? How does it apply to land and planning and zoning? There is nothing about police there. Okay.
Well, if it's just the word police by itself, it means the police department, but police power means something else. It means the power that local government has to regulate use of land. That's what we call police power.
Oh my God, I would never think that way. Okay, so correct answer is B. Thank
Police
you.
power. Now, this is probably one of the few exceptions where all of the above is not the right answer. So it belongs to that 30 to 40% situation where all of the above is not the right answer. Okay, now eminent domain has to do with the government taking your land for public use, such as when they want to build like a railroad or they want to build a public improvement project. Okay, so eminent domain would not be the right answer here because this is talking about planning and zoning. Always remember, when you see the words planning and zoning, you start thinking about police power.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, well, that's excellent. Now, the third choice is called deed restrictions. Now, usually the deed restrictions have to do with private restriction rather than public restriction. And when you look at the word government, we're talking about public. So deed restriction, because it applies to private regulation, it would not be the right answer for 37. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, why don't you read out?
38. Which of the following acts of real estate licensee would not be a violation of the real estate law? A. Taking a net listing. B. Failure to put a final and definite termination date on an exclusive listing. Okay. C. Failure to give a copy of the contract to the person who signs it at the time they sign it. D. Taking an option together with the listing and neglecting to notify the seller in writing the expected amount of profit prior to executing the option. Ooh, this is difficult. Okay.
Well, it's asking for an answer that is not a violation of the real estate law. So which one of the following is not a violation of the real estate law?
Is not a violation.
Yeah.
So taking a net listing, I'm going to do elimination first.
Okay.
Apply elimination rule. Is not a violation. Taking a net listing. I think it's not a violation. Wrong?
Well, what about B, C, and D? Are they all violations?
Failure to put a final and definite termination date on an exclusive listing. This is number B is violation.
Okay. What about C?
Is absolutely violation.
Okay. What about D?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I think A or D.
Okay. But you picked A, is that right?
I picked A, yes.
All right, congratulations. A is the right answer choice. Taking a net listing is legal in California.
Oh, yes.
All right, that's it. Let's move on to the next question. Number 39.
Okay, so 39. A corporation is prohibited from holding title to real property in California with anyone as a joint tenant because A. It is a violation of the Securities Act. B. Of its perpetual existence. C. It is difficult to list all stockholders in the deed. D. A corporation cannot hold title to real property. I choose D, right answer, final.
You choose D, corporation cannot hold title to real property.
Correct.
And the reason why you pick D is because you believe that corporation cannot be allowed to take title to real property.
Correct.
So if you own a corporation, can that corporation ever invest in properties?
Let me think. Yes, they can.
So the corporation can invest in property, is that right?
If you ask, I will say now, I think they can.
Okay, if a corporation can invest in real property, then shouldn't they be allowed to take title to property or hold title to property?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So D is the wrong answer, huh?
Yeah, D is the wrong answer. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
it is a
what
valid
about
choice.
A? It is a violation. A corporation cannot be allowed to have a joint tenancy because it is a violation of the Securities Act. Does that sound like a right answer?
Yes. Now I think A is the right answer.
Okay, well,
Because I think B is kind of like strange answer, and C is also makes sense because it is difficult to list all stockholders in the deed.
okay, I'll tell you what the right answer choice is. The right answer is actually B. Bravo,
Oh,
bravo.
goodness. Wow.
Because
Oh,
a
wow.
corporation never dies. And in a joint tenancy, there is survivorship, remember?
Corporation never dies?
Yeah, corporation never died. Corporation continue to live forever. Because it's not a human being, it's a joint
Okay,
tenancy.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why a
Boy.
corporation cannot be involved in a joint tenancy because a corporation never dies. Okay? So the correct answer choice is actually B.
Okay, thank you. My goodness.
Perpetual means forever, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I did not choose it. I said forever, no way. But it is.
All right, well, that is the right answer choice. Okay?
Okay, answer
All right, let's
B.
move
Number
on to
40.
number 40. All right.
Charles died in estate and left $60,000 estate, but no heirs. His estate would A. Revert to the state, escheat to the county, be held for 5 years by the state, and then revert to the county. D. Given to a charitable organization. So I will do elimination.
Okay.
I eliminate D.
All right. Good choice. Good
I
elimination.
eliminate C.
Okay. So that will give you 50-50.
Yeah, I chose A, final answer.
Congratulations. That's the right answer.
Okay, great.
Yeah, if a person die intestate and have no heirs, the only way to resolve his property is to give it to the state of California. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's move on to the next one. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was excellent job by using the rule of elimination. Okay. All right. Now we're
Okay.
gonna move on to the next scene because we're going to 41. All right. Go ahead
Okay.
and let's go over 41. Why don't you read out loud 41?
When land gradually builds up as a result of the action of water, it is known as A. Avulsion, B. Reliction, C. Erosion, D. Because I know the answer.
D is accretion.
Accretion, yes.
Okay. So what's the answer?
D. Final. Accretion.
Congratulations. You got it right again.
I just remember that.
Okay, now what about B, reliction? What rule would you apply to eliminate B?
So I did not know exact meaning of avulsion and reliction. I know exact meaning of erosion and now exact meaning of accretion. So I eliminate avulsion and reliction because I don't know what it means exactly. I don't know exactly what it means.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, congratulations. You got it right again. Let's move on to the next one.
42. A first trust deed can usually be distinguished from a second trust deed by the A. Heading of the recorded documents, B. Information contained in the note, C. Recorder's margin notation, D. Time and date of recordation. So I will choose D, final answer.
The time and date of recordation.
Time and date final answer because I just feel that it is the correct answer.
You just know it's a correct answer, right?
I just feel that it is correct. I believe that it is the correct answer. Because the other ones don't look correct to me. Heading of the recorded documents, it's strange. B, information contained in the note, not so much. C,
Okay.
recorder's margin notation, no. Time and date of recordation, final answer, D.
Oh, perfect. You got it right again. Congratulations.
Oh, great.
Well, it seems
Okay.
like you apply two rules. One rule is the rule of elimination. The second rule is if something looks weird or not familiar, there's probably wrong answer. So D seems to be the most common sense one. So I guess
Yes.
you can apply three rules and get the right answer, right?
Yes. Yes. At the end, I applied common sense. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, congratulations. Let's move on to the next one. Well, anyway,
43.
just for educational purposes, between first and second trust deed, so the second trust deed would have to be the one that is recorded after the first trust deed, right? Or else they would not be the second trust deed, right?
Okay, can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, the way to determine which one is the first trust deed is which one is the second trust deed. You go by the time and the date of recording.
Yes.
Because
yes.
the one that is second has to be recorded later than the first, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's move on to the next one.
43. A lender agrees to make a loan on a large commercial complex provided the borrower gives the lender a 2% interest in the ownership. This type of a loan would be known as a package loan, participation loan, close aid loan, take-out loan. Okay, so first I will apply a rule of elimination.
Yes.
I would eliminate take-out, D.
Okay.
I would eliminate C. It does not sound right to me.
All right, now you're left with A and B.
Yes, I have two choices.
Correct.
So, package loan, I will choose B, final answer. I use common sense.
All right, congratulations, you got it right again. A participation loan is the type of loan where the lender actually wants to have a percentage in the project. That's what a participation loan is.
Okay, so B. Okay, I'm going to write it down. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So, Joe, congratulations, you got it right as well. Okay,
Yay.
awesome. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay,
44. Which of the following is not a requisite, for creation of an enforceable leasehold agreement is not requisite?
Yes.
A, amount of rental payments is not a requisite. That rent payments be made in advance. Length of time that lease will continue. Description of the property. So I will use elimination rule first. Is not a requisite. So I will eliminate A. I will eliminate D. I left with B and C.
All right.
I eliminate C. I think B, final answer. B.
Congratulations, you got it again. To have an enforceable lease, you need to have the amount of the rental payment, length of time the lease will continue, and a description of the property. But you do not need to have the rent payments be made in advance to have an enforceable lease. Okay, so you got the right answer. So unfortunately, Joe, you got the wrong answer because you do need the description of the property to have a lease agreement. Just imagine you have a lease agreement where you don't even have the property address, you have no idea what property we're talking about. So obviously you need a description of the property, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next one.
45.
Yes.
Which of the following is not an essential to the validity of a deed? Is not.
Yes.
Payment of financial consideration is not. Competent grantor is not essential. Okay. Description of the property, delivery of the deed. So rule of elimination. I eliminate B, I eliminate C, I eliminate D, final answer A.
Congratulations, you got it again. Now the question says which one of the following is not essential
not.
to the validity of the deed. For a deed to be valid, you don't have to pay consideration. The grantee does not have to pay consideration to the grantor. Okay, so 45, the correct answer is A, because you do not need consideration for that to be a valid deed. All right, let's move on to the next one.
46. The trust deed and note on a conventional loan is held by the lending institution, federal government, the seller, the trustee. Elimination rule.
Okay.
Eliminate D, eliminate C, eliminate B, final answer A.
Congratulations, you got it again. Okay, well, you know, when you borrow money from the bank, the borrower would have to sign the trust deed as well as the note. And then the bank will keep the trust deed. Well, the bank will actually record the trust deed, and then but the bank will keep the original note. And that's proof of the debt. So therefore, the lending institution is the one who's keeping the note. The trust deed, after it's recorded, it will be returned to the bank. So the bank will have the original trust deed as well as the original note. All right, Delana Lamb, you got the right answer as well. Congratulations to you as well.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so happy.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay.
47. When a cow vet wishes to purchase a home and use his or her California veterans benefits, he or she would make application to the California Veterans Administration, B. Department of Veterans Affairs, C. Housing Administration, D. An institutional lender. Calvet purchase a home and use his or her office purchase. Okay. Elimination rule. I would eliminate D. I would eliminate A. I would eliminate C, and I think B is a correct answer. Is it right or not?
Congratulations, you got it. Okay. First of all, CalVet is a special type of loan. It's only available to the veterans. Now, even though it has the name Cal in front of it, the name Cal simply means that it is the type of loan where the money is going to come from the sale of state bond. That's why Cal is in there. But really, the loan is administered by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Application will still have to be made to the Department of Veterans Affairs. So the answer is B. Congratulations to Joe as well as Delana Lamb. You both got it right. So all three of you got it right. That's wonderful. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
48. A real estate subdivider who resides in Hawaii is required to comply with various laws if he wants to offer his property located in Hawaii for sale in California. The law that he would be most concerned with would be the. That's a difficult question. Whoa.
Yeah, it is a bit tough on that one.
California Subdivisional Map Act, State Housing Act, California Real Estate Law. All of the preceding. Ooh.
Yeah, this one is a bit tough, I know. It's
Yeah.
very, very difficult for most students on this one.
So he lives in Hawaii and wants to say Hawaiian land in California.
Exactly. That's what he's trying to do.
California Subdivisional Map Act, State Housing Act, State. I think C is a final answer. C.
Oh my God, that was a difficult one and you got it right. Oh, wow.
I use common sense.
Well, why didn't you pick D? What's wrong with D?
I don't know. C speak to me.
What about A? What's wrong with A?
Okay, a California Subdivision Map Act.
Yes.
It's not about dividing a land. I think he is selling piece which already divided long time ago.
Yeah, excellent. That is a very good application of your knowledge. That's excellent. Now, what about B, State Housing Act? Why isn't that even relevant to this question?
It's a good statement, but it does not. It is not relevant to this.
And what is it relevant to, the State Housing Act?
Maybe to call vets, maybe for veterans or something.
First of all,
but this person guy, he's going to sell his own property. It's not state housing, I think.
Okay.
What do you think?
You know what California real estate law is? It is just another name for Subdivider Lands Act. Subdivider Lands Act is also known as California real estate law. Please remember that, because sometimes in the exam they will not use Subdivider Lands Act. They simply use California real estate law. So if you don't know that California real estate law is the same thing as Subdivider Lands Act, you might have a bit of difficulty, but Tanya used a very good rule of elimination, so that worked out, and you picked the right choice. California real estate law is a Subdivider Lands Act, and Subdivider Lands Act regulates sales of subdivisions in California. Even subdivisions that are outside California, if they want to promote it in California, it will still be regulated by the Subdivider Lands Act. That's why C is the correct answer. Okay? All right. And okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, 49. If you wish...
Oh, hold on. This is a math question. Since there's no DRE question on math, we're going to skip this one. Okay?
Okay, we go to 50.
We'll skip that one. Okay, then this one.
Deed restrictions may be terminated in all of the following ways, except deed restrictions may be terminated in all of the. Okay, A, voluntary cancellation by grantee. B, expiration of their prescribed period of duration. C, merger of ownership. D, quit claim deed from grantor. It is difficult. Okay, so let's read again. Deed restrictions may be terminated in all of the following ways, except I think I can eliminate B, expiration of the prescribed period of duration.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know, Kenny.
It's a tough
Please,
one, I know.
please help us. This is very difficult.
I know. Yeah. But don't worry, do your best.
Okay, so eliminate B, merge of ownership. Eliminate C. So I left with A or D. Voluntary cancellation by grantee. Deed restrictions may be aggravated in all of the following ways. Okay, so I will eliminate A. So I think D is final answer. D.
All right. First of all, we have to understand what deed restriction is. Okay. Deed restriction has to do with, a deed restriction is actually a private restriction. Let's say, for example, you go to a community where they don't allow second-story building, they only allow single-story. So this is the developer will then place a deed restriction on all future sales. That means that whoever that who buys a property into that community will be subject to the deed restriction. Now, if a future owner can actually, future owner cannot alter the deed restriction by doing a voluntary cancellation. A deed restriction can be terminated by expiration of the time. So for example, if a developer wants to place a deed restriction for 30 years, after 30 years, then it will be terminated. So B is not an answer you want because deed restriction can be terminated by expiration. They're looking for an answer where the deed restriction cannot be terminated by, because it says deed restrictions may be terminated in all of the following ways except. So you're looking for an answer choice where excuse me, the deed restriction cannot be terminated. Now, if you are a grantee, the deed restriction cannot be terminated by you. It has to be terminated by the grantor. Okay? So A would be the right answer choice because a deed restriction cannot be terminated
Yes.
by a voluntary cancellation by a grantee. All the other are possible. Quitclaim deed from the grantor can actually terminate the possible to terminate the deed restriction. Although B and C are clear situation where the deed restriction can be terminated. Merger of ownership, okay, is another situation. So the correct answer is actually A. Now this is a very, very difficult one. It actually requires a lot of analysis and a lot of understanding about what a deed restriction is. Just remember, a deed restriction is a private restriction. It cannot be terminated by voluntary cancellation by the grantee. Just remember that. Okay? Great. Thank you. Next one.
Thank you. 51.
Yes.
This is like a wrong word.
Yeah, permissive. It should be permissive. Sorry. Permissive.
Okay.
Yes.
Permissive use of a road across real property would cause a prescriptive easement in. I just know this for some reason. It is 5 years.
Read the question again.
Final answer.
Well,
5 years, 10 years if the buyer pays the taxes, 20 years, none of the above. So I will eliminate D, I will eliminate C. I thought maybe B or A, but my final answer is A.
All right. Unfortunately, A is the wrong answer.
So B is correct answer?
Let me explain to you why A is the wrong answer. Okay. Actually, you have to read the question very carefully. What is permissive use? Can there be prescriptive easement if there is permissive use?
I think so, yes.
The answer is
Pres-
no.
no
Prescriptive easement can only happen when there is non-permissive use. So if
Okay.
there is, if let's say for example, you got a friendly neighbor, and you are in a landlocked property where you have no access to the road. Your neighbor say, well, don't worry, you can come through my property anytime you want, and you always have the owner's permission. Then can you ever have a prescriptive easement? Prescriptive easement is only when your neighbor said no to you, but you went ahead and used his property for access anyway, and you do it for 5 years, then you get prescriptive easement. But in the case of permissive use, you can never have a prescriptive easement. That's why the answer is none of the above.
Oh, wow.
A lot of students got this one wrong because it's a tricky question. It's a
So
very
correct
tricky.
answer is D.
Yeah, because whenever the use is permissive, there can never be a prescriptive easement.
Okay.
Tricky, huh? Very tricky,
Oh
right?
my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. 52. To an appraiser, a definition of value is A relationship between desirous persons and things desired.
Okay.
Eliminate this one. B. The ability of one commodity to command other commodities in exchange. I don't know. The present worth of all the rights of future benefits arising from the ownership of property. D. All of the above. To an appraiser, a definition of value is okay. So I will eliminate A, B, and D, and I will choose C, final answer.
Okay. Remember, one of the rules is if you see all of the above,
Yes.
the chances of that being the right answer is about 60 to 70%. All right?
Yeah.
So whenever you see a question that has all of the above as an answer choice, first you assume that D is the right answer. Okay? And then you go through the 3 answer choices to see if D is still the right answer. Now, let's go through A, B, and C. Definition of value is relationship between desirous persons and things desired. Remember the rule of supply and demand? So value is about supply and demand. If the demand is high, the value goes up. The demand is low, the value comes down. So A is a correct statement. Okay?
We are talking about appraiser.
That's right.
Not
Appraiser also use supply and demand. So
Okay.
it says the relationship between desirous persons and things desired. What that means is if more people desire something, its value goes up. The value for that thing goes up, right? If
okay.
nobody,
So okay, I got it. I thought it's only like mathematical things, but it's all things. Okay.
correct. Now B, the ability of one commodity to command other commodities in exchange. So if something has value, then you can actually exchange it for other commodities. So the ability of one commodity to command other commodities in exchange is also another definition of value. I know that is a difficult one.
Okay. So
Now,
the right answer is D. Okay.
Now the C, present worth of all the rights to future benefits arising from the ownership of property. Let me explain that one. You know, when you appraise income property, for example, you always want to look at what is the present worth of the future rental income. Usually, if the projection for the future income is good, then the present worth is higher. The higher the future income potential, the greater the present worth. Therefore, C is also a correct statement of the definition of value. So the answer is D, all of the above.
Okay. Thank you. Boy,
Yeah.
that was difficult.
Yeah, this is a very difficult one. Okay. But I'm glad we go over it. Hey, Joe, congratulations. Joe got the right answer. So let's move on to the next one.
Okay, 53.
All right.
FHA has established certain MPRs that apply to loans that they insure. MPR is an abbreviation for market price ratings, minimum property requirements, maximum probability ratios, mortgage protection rates. I will eliminate I will eliminate A, C, and D. I will choose B, final answer.
Correct. Wow. Okay, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Okay,
Now,
so 53B?
the correct answer is B.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that was a good elimination. Now, as you know, when you are a seller, you're selling your property. If there are multiple buyers, if one of the buyers have FHA, usually the FHA buyers are less preferred over other buyers because FHA loan, they have minimum property requirements. That means that if the property does not meet FHA's minimum property requirements, the loan cannot be approved. Such as, for example, you have a broken oven. That broken oven will have to be fixed before you can close escrow. So that's why FHA has minimum property requirements that have to be fixed. So just remember that. So the correct answer is actually B. Okay? All right, next one.
Okay, thank you. 54. Under a construction loan, the final payment to the borrower is generally released when the A. lien period has expired. B. owner has accepted the property. Notice of completion has been filed. D. work has been completed. Under construction loan, the final payment to the borrower is generally released when C. Okay, so I will use rule of elimination.
Okay.
I will eliminate B.
Okay.
I will eliminate D.
Okay.
I will eliminate, so A or C, 50-50.
Yes.
Lien has expired. Notice of completion has been filed. I eliminate A, I choose C, final answer.
Okay, unfortunately, A is the correct answer.
Oh, okay.
Let me explain to you why A is the correct answer. You know, whenever the bank makes a construction loan, because it is a construction loan, who's hired in a construction project? The contractors, right?
Yes.
And we know that whenever a contractor doesn't get paid, they will record mechanics lien against the property, right? So the lender will not make the last payment until the lien period has expired. That way that they are safe with the last payment, because if the bank makes the last payment and then the lien period has not expired, so if a contractor records the mechanics lien after the payment is made, the bank would have to pay again. So that's why the bank always want to wait until the lien period has expired before they make the last payment.
Very good. Okay.
Okay?
A. Okay, thank you.
All right, and wonderful job today, Tanya. And we have come to the end of the program tonight. Well, first of all, if you like my program, if you like today's live stream, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notification, and share this video with your friends. I hope to see you again next week. Good night.